Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gabbo the Shaman, and today, I was just thinking, I was thinking about where are people putting their focus? Like, I know we all have our mundane stuff to do, our job, our, earning money, this and that, like taking care of our kids, making lunch for our spouse or whatever it is. Um, those mundane washing dishes, doing laundry, things like that. But everything that I'm like, apart from that, in the entertainment space and YouTube and all that, even Netflix and other websites, X, like, we're all just kind of talking. We're all just kind of talking and yelling at each other, and it's not productive. So, for example, I go on YouTube and there's like nothing to watch. I'm usually very entertained by people talking about politics, about spirituality, about astrology, about this and that. And and it's like boring to me now. These human things that we kind of get off on, like, oh, who's right in this debate? Oh, what's going on with somebody crashing out or whatever? Or, like, just drama, this human drama that we all experience and that we're all sucked into. Um, and just how much of a time sink that is, how much of a time waster that is. Um, you know, I think, well, so this is kind of what prompted me to ask you guys the question, you know, what is your focus? What is your spiritual focus? Because I want to help you guys to, ascend to 5D, and that is a real literal thing. It's not just new age bullshit. It's a real thing. There is going to be a physical transformation upon the earth where, you know, it's just going to be a lot different than it is. And so I really wanted to come on here today and ask you guys, are you focused on this shift? Or are you just kind of doing your own thing? And by the way, if you don't want the shift, if you're totally uninterested in contacting ETs and this and that, like, that's okay. Your soul will, well, you will descend into 2D, you know, where it's going to be not pleasant, not easy, and you will indeed be stuck. But that's okay. I certainly realize that there are certain souls who will choose that. They haven't woken up to their divinity yet. And so that's okay. We all have to go through what we have to go through to learn. Some people learn by making mistakes over and over and over again until they gain wisdom and see, oh yeah, I shouldn't have, stole that thing because now I'm in jail. Okay? Oh yeah, I got off on the feeling of being a victim, but I'm not. I'm actually a deity. Oh, this is how the world works, you know. Um, and so if you are stuck in your human mindsets, human beliefs, human assumptions about yourself and your place in the world, um, it's tough, but you can change that. I'm telling you guys right now, we don't have a lot of time left. We do not have a lot of time left. We are on the precipice of a great awakening. Well, I can't say that. It's not going to be a great awakening. It's going to be the people who are already vibrating at that frequency or at that frequency, they'll just disappear. People will think that they are dead. Your favorite internet celebrity. Instead of them coming on making videos every day, they're gonna be gone, and people are going to think that they're dead. So don't assume that, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it no problem. It's gonna be a breeze, a walk in the park. No, it's not. No, you aren't. Don't just assume those things. Don't get, full of yourself and all that crap. Because we always want to be striving towards our greatest fulfillment. The people who sit back and do nothing, man, they're gonna have a rough go of it. So if you want a spiritual awakening, if you want to be connected to your higher self, if you want to, really experience really experience what this 5D world is going to be, then you gotta do something about that. You can't just sit back and wait and wonder, yeah, I think maybe what if, those things don't work. Okay? So you gotta really, I'm telling you, you got to, but it's really your choice. Okay? So this is all your choice. And I'm putting these things on screen here because this is what needs to be the focus from now on. These spiritual practices right here. Cosmic Qigong and Self-Transformation Challenge. I have made them very extremely affordable for you. $55 a month. And, if you do meditations, great. If you're doing the interdimensional meditations, that's wonderful. But yeah, by the end of 2026, we're going to be out of here, is my prediction. And I could be wrong. And that's okay. I'm not really tied to it. I don't really care. But the world is shifting. I mean, look at how much solar activity we've had. It's just insane. That's the sun sending energy to the earth. So, you know, the reason that I find everything in humanity so boring and like, it's just so. We all think that we're saying something. We all think that we're, you know, doing things, doing things that are important to us. But it's all just drivel. All the stuff is just drivel. Like I see on YouTube these people talking about politics or whatever. Politics ain't. Politics is gonna be gone soon. There's gonna be no politicians. We're going to live in a society where everyone is kind to each other. And if you don't want that, then you're going to live in 2D. It's time for separation. Because the biggest thing about this is, I guess, it's just certain people are certain ways. Certain people are evil. Certain people do evil things. And so you can't have those people, bothering and interacting with people who are on a different wavelength. So this is... So anyway, so nobody has it all figured out. Nobody has it all locked in. And if you think you do, you're one of those people say, oh, I'm already in 5D. No, you're not. Stop deluding yourself. Because if you were in 5D, you wouldn't be typing on a keyboard, would you? 5D is not a state of mind, it's a physical shift. ETs have never mentioned 5D. They have alluded to a shift, a physical shift, and there being a physical split, 3 Earths, a lower Earth, middle Earth, and higher Earth. And if you're staying in a lower vibration, you're going to experience the world devolving into chaos. And if you're in a higher vibration or frequency, frequency is the real word, not vibration. If you're in a higher frequency, you're going to see the world getting better and changing. And by the way, here's my financial advice for someone who's not a financial expert. Spend all your money right now. Go get, instead of saving it, instead of hanging on to it, go spend it. Because end of 2026 is going to be, that's all. That's all, folks. So if you've been really wanting something like these over here, go get it. Stop waiting around. And the other reason that I, feel like, politics and this and that on YouTube is just so, like, I watch the things that I watch on YouTube. I spend the time doing the things I want to do because I genuinely enjoy it. Like, it's fun for me. So I watch I watch gaming videos just to get my mind off things and just to relax. I stay away from politics because it gets me in a bit of a, it lowers my vibration, my frequency. I need to take that word vibration and throw it out the window because that's not what it is. So, you know, just things that I enjoyed and had and liked before, like certain shows, certain things, they're just nonsense to me now. I'm like, why would I even waste my time on that crap? Because the truth is, guys, there's a shift that's taken place within me. And that's the point. Make the shift take place within you. So if you're sitting on your ass waiting for something to happen, oh, looking at the sky, oh, when is it gonna happen? You gotta, it's internal. You got to figure it out for yourself. You gotta raise your frequency. And, just like 6 months ago, I thought, oh, raise your frequency. That's a bunch of bullshit, you know? But it's happening. And I'm getting less and less tolerant of bullshit in my life. Getting less and less tolerant of just slackers, even slacking in my own life. It's just like, what am I doing? If I'm not meditating, if I'm not pursuing my spiritual enlightenment, then what am I doing? I'm either, growing or I'm contracting, you know? You're either expanding or you're contracting. And if you're not expanding, then you're contracting. So, let me just go over some experiences that I've had with ETs. They have shown me that, well, so first of all, I get a lot of visions, which is funny because I'm blind. Right? Okay, so I get these visions in my mind. And I know I'm not making them up because I was like, why would I make that up? Like, why would I even think of that? That's not like me to think of that, you know? So, okay, but there's a reality test for you. Like, you gotta check for yourself and make sure that you're not deluding yourself, right? You can't believe everything. Well, I guess you can. There's a difference between making crap up and actually hearing messages from an ET. Okay? So, it's, so the experiences that I've had with an ET, for one, they showed me that I'm a priest. I was a priest in a past life in Egypt and Atlantis. So I was the, priest in Egypt mainly, but it was around the time of Atlantis. And, so I built the pyramids with my King Surid, and yeah, I was a priest because I had it was because of my heart center, because of my heart. It was so big that I had to, let it billow out of me, like share the love with everybody. And and then I chose. Here's the here's the thing. So with humans, we have to play out the drama, okay? Like like somebody betrayed me, you know. King Surd, he says, "Oh yeah, we'll build the pyramids and everything will work out." And then everything didn't work out. Everything devolved into chaos and all that. And then um and then I had the chance to shift up, ascend, or I could, go down in frequency with the earth. And I chose to do that. So I chose to go down in frequency. I don't know if it was, I still don't know if it was guilt or fear or whatever, anger, this or that. And so I chose to, go down in frequency with the earth, and as well as King Surd did. And so I've had, multiple lives where I've, really, really hurt myself, really punished myself. Instead of having this open, big heart, I closed it up and turned it inward. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff there. And so, I've had lives where I blew myself up in a car. I got I got beaten very badly, like attacked, and my face swelled up and all that. I saw an image of a nurse just wrapping my face in gauze. And then I forget what the other one was. But yeah. But when I got attacked, like, I provoked that. I actually provoked that. It's like wanting other people to, like, beat up on you or treat me like I felt like I needed to be treated or whatever. It's a very interesting psychological thing, which makes me uncomfortable, like, to even acknowledge that and say that, but that's the truth. And then what else? So I was shown that I have a daughter in 5D. Could have just been a dream. Could have, like, could have been just, I don't think I was making things up. It could have just been a tool for my awakening, my enlightenment, things like that. So just could have been the like the ET sending me a message. It might not have been literal. Okay. So I had this vision of myself, sitting at the head of a table with my, newspaper and coffee is what it seemed like. And this little girl comes waltzing in, and she's, she's playing, she's imagining, she's clapping and singing and being a kid, doing what kids do. And, and so you know, we like okay, so I could see like what she was creating in her mind, like imagining, creating, but it was like her imagination like literally created things, like literally manifested things. And and she was playing and she was going into this fantasy and this like, playful fantasy thing of hers. And while I was seeing this, I was like, hey little girl, um, where are your parents? Because yeah. So I found also, I've also found that in my waking life, little kids are drawn to me. They like me for some reason. And they'll be like staring at me in the store like, "Hi." And so, little kids are always drawn to me. I don't know why. But and then, I asked her, "Okay, where are your parents?" Like, and she's like, "Did you forget? You're my dad. You're my daddy." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." I was, playing into it, like acting like, "Oh, yeah, of course I know that." And so, you know, it it was like teaching me cuz I was at that time meditating on how do I regain my power, because the ETs have showed me that I was a focal point of the heart center of the master of the heart center, which is a focal point. And now I'm getting it, I think, which is I am Vishnu. Think of that what you will. Um, my higher dimensional self, which I am deeply connected to, is Vishnu. And Vishnu, if you don't know, is the deity that corresponds to the heart center. You have Shiva in the third eye, you have Brahma in the navel center, and then you have Vishnu in the heart center. Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu. And you can also take from that Odin, which goes with the third eye. So it's Odin, Vili in the navel, Vili, and then Ve, which means sacred space. And it's funny. I don't know if this is a coincidence or what, but I've learned in my astrology learnings, in my astrology courses that I've taken over the years with different Vedic masters, that the spiritual name is based upon the first syllable of your name. So your spiritual name, like they do this in India very often. Very, very often you'll see it. So they'll, at the time of birth, boom, baby is just born. The man will go look at his astrology software, see, oh, the moon is in this pada, in this nakshatra. Okay, so I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna see the seed sound for it. So then you find the seed sound for that particular moon placement, and that's the baby's name. So if it's so if I think Rohini, the third pada or something like that, is V, VI. And so, so if you're born in that pada and that nakshatra with your moon placement there, the moon is very important because that's the meditative mind. Normally, in 3D existence in human life, we notoriously operate from the intellect, from the brain. That's different. That's different from the meditative mind. So, um, you know, um, so with my name, Vincent, and then we have Vishnu, and then we have Odin, Vili, Ve. Those all line up. Now, I don't know if that's a coincidence, if that's me making shit up or whatnot, but that's okay. I'm not like hanging my hat on that, like, oh my gosh. But it's an interesting coincidence. And, so, what else? Let me see. Oh, yeah, in multiple occasions, whenever I'm meditating, whenever I'm doing an interdimensional meditation, I always have this being, because I lay this chair down and put my feet up on the desk here, and I meditate and all that, and every time that I do that, I can feel pressure on my head in certain spots, pinpoints, acupressure points. But also, I think that they're putting energy into me, a very subtle energy, very, very subtle, very like I'm not feeling a whole bunch of energy pumped into me. It's just very subtle, like tweaks, um, subtle upgrades. And I think that, you know, this has, it's actually changed my perspective on things. I'm a very different person than I used to be. Before I did my interdimensional meditations, my IDMs, I would be very, very, just skeptical, just very like, oh yeah, right, that's not gonna work. Oh yeah, this, that. I would even push back on my teacher and things like that. Is like, that's not gonna work. Oh, that's BS. That's not real. Oh God, I thought my teacher was literally crazy. That shows you how far I've come. Because I know a lot of you are probably thinking, okay, this guy is fucking nuts. But I'm not. And like, if you actually go to Michael Denney, Denney, his YouTube channel, you can find a timeline there of like It's his latest video, I think. But yeah, he lays out like a timeline. And so it's just wild, you know? It's just like um just very strange how everything turned out, how everything, cuz he would get these messages about, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened. And then he wouldn't have like a timeline to put it in, so he didn't know. He just kind of took it at face value. But once he like put it in a timeline, then it all made so much sense to him. Because, in his past life he was king of the world. Not only king of Atlantis, but king of the world. And he's like, okay, how can somebody, be king of the world? And so, he's like, that I don't know if that even exists. But he's like, okay, I'll take it at face value. Okay, I was the king of the world, right? And then he finds out, oh, there's actually a legend about King Surid and the pyramids and this and that. And it's funny because, I was telling you that I was a high priest in that life. And it's funny because one of King Surid's, well, the only high priest that's mentioned there is Philemon. Philimon, or Lemon. And I looked up the like etymology of that word, what that meant, and I was shocked. That meant that Philemon meant, what did it mean? Sorry. It meant like a loving, friendly guy, uh, a companion, like a. Hold on. Let me actually look up what that means. Let me see. So we have. It meant like the loving priest, basically. How long has my mic been off? Ugh. Alright, guys. So, let me see here. Okay. So, Philemon is loving, affectionate, blah blah blah. And that's like that was literally what I was. I was a priest. I was a high priest because of my heart. And so, we'll see. We'll see what all this means. Not exactly sure, but, you know, it's something else, man, that I can tell you. So all this mundane crap in our society, about the politics, about this and that, it's like I'm more interested in history. I'm more interested in history and alien technology now. So, it's just everything else is boring to me because I've had so many profound experiences that are just generated with meditation. Like just me and the ETs talking and hanging out and them showing me things, them putting energy into me, them messing with my brain and all this stuff. And it's just crazy, It's like amazing. So, and you know, that tops any science fiction movie. I did not believe that I would be having these experiences that I'm having now when I was, 25. When I was 25, I thought life was over. I was like, oh god, I have to do this shit again. Like, get up every day, go to work, do the same old thing. But now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, this is what life is really about. It's interesting because the more that you interact with ETs, you're like, oh, this is the real life, not that other bullshit. This is it. You know? It's like, so, what else? Yeah, I would highly encourage you guys, this 3D reality is about to end very soon. It's about to go bye-bye. And the only thing that we'll have left is our souls. Only thing we'll have left is our souls. So you're going to grow and enrich your soul? Or are you just going to take a back seat and say, meh, I'll deal with it later? Like, are you going to actually grow or are you just going to procrastinate? Same thing with Codependence Anonymous. CODA, the 12 steps. You could easily just procrastinate and let your life devolve into something even worse. Or you could take steps to fix it. The 12 steps are the best way to get spiritual enlightenment. As well as, doing these practices right here. I mean, there's nothing else like it. These were adapted from my spiritual teacher's teachings. What he taught me, I'm passing it down to you guys. And this is life-changing stuff, if you're struggling with like depression or addiction or, just feeling depleted in life, like this will fill your body up with so much energy, so much vitality, so much joy, and like it's just unbelievable that you would be surprised at how much you can get done when you do qigong on a daily basis. Because what it does is it infuses your body with all this energy, all this chi, and now you can go out there and kick ass. You can go, do what you need to get done, be self-empowered to start your own business, do your own thing. It's a really it's like medicine. I remember before doing this stuff that I was so miserable that, I was just so miserable. And, it cured a lot of things. Yeah. It it changed my life so much. Made my life so much better. You know. So it cured my depression. You want a full list of everything that it did? It cured my depression. It it didn't stop the feelings, but it empowered me to work through those. It improved my health greatly. I'm in pretty good health today just because of that. What is it? Depression, so mental health, physical health. It has, it's given me the ability, a greater ability to connect with extraterrestrials and things like that. It's like it enhances the experiences. My body is healthier. I'm less depressed. I'm full of energy now to like actually go do things. Because before I was, just a homebody, just very much stuck in my house, but now I'm actually going and doing things for myself. I just went to the movies last night by myself. So, it's like going to the gym by myself and things like that. I can do those things, but, whereas before I would need somebody to take me just because I couldn't drive or whatever. Do whatever. Uber or walk, doesn't matter. So now, like, I'm so much more independent and more empowered and more willing to experience this, this journey. Like, before I was a wreck before. I was not happy at all. I was just very depressed. But now I'm better. And like it's not going to don't ever think that it's going to cure your feelings. It might even bring up more feelings, but that's okay. It gives you the energy and it gives you the power to work through those things and to overcome all the obstacles in your way. So, people poo-poo qigong, they say, "Oh yeah, that's new age BS or whatever." But once you've actually felt the power within your body, you can't deny it. You can't say, "Oh no, it's not working for me." It's $55 a month, You can cancel anytime. One-time payment of $55 will get you to try it. Try it out for yourself. In fact, there are free energy work exercises on my channel that you can research and find those. Okay. Alright, guys. I love you guys. We will see you next time, and take care.